This video will talk about some commands we can run and what they can do and how we can combine them together to do things with pipes. So first command we're going to talk about we should have already talked about before, which is the cat command, which will display the contents of a file. So I have a file called list of items. If I type cat list of items, that will display the contents of the file. So if for some reason I had two lists, which, hey, surprisingly I do, list of items 2, and I put them both, that will put both of the lines to get both of the files together. The first file will be in place, and then the second file will come after that. So it does the first file and then the second file. It doesn't like intermix the lines or anything. So, why would you want to do that? Well, this is a list of items and another list of items, so we can pretend that that's our grocery list. So what we're going to do is we're going to redirect this into a file called grocery list. Grocery, oh yeah, I need to spell it out, grocery list. So now if I cat grocery list, I have the combination of the two lines together. But if I look down through here, I see that I have some things that are duplicated. So I want to get rid of those duplicate items because I only want to have one list so I don't get confused while I'm out shopping. So what I can do is I can use the uniq command. The uniq command will get rid of duplicate lines. So I could type uniq and then put in my grocery list as the argument for that, and we look at that and we're like, hey Rich, it still says water more than one time, right? And that's because uniq needs to operate on a sorted list, so it gets rid of items that are right next to each other. So I could, if I sort my grocery list, right? Now you see I have apples, cheese, chips, fish, fruit, guacamole, lemonade, lemons. So now that it is sorted, I could then uniq it. So a couple things to note. I ran sort and put the file name grocery list. That did not actually sort the file called grocery list. The output of that was sorted. If I wanted to save that, I would redirect it into a file called like sorted grocery list if I wanted to save it, and then I can use uniq on sorted grocery list, and I get my sorted grocery list. So if I wanted to save that, I could save that as uniq list, right? So then I can look at my uniq list, cat uniq list. So that gives me what I'm looking for. I started with my two lists, and then I sorted it and I uniqed it. But a cool thing about Linux, right, is we can combine all those things at once. So I could start over. I could start with my two list of items, cat list of items 2, right? I can pipe that into sort, and then I can pipe that directly into uniq, and that's going to give me my sorted uniq list. And then if I wanted to save that, I could save that with my uniq list too. So that is a way we can combine some commands to solve a problem. All right, so that was a cat command, sort and uniq. Sort will sort things alphabetically by default. If you want to change, you can do sort-n to sort numerically. You can do things like ignore case. So if you don't care about it being in capital or lowercase, so there are different things you can do with sort. Uniq. About the only useful thing I ever do with uniq is to count the number of occurrences. Say you have a list that has a ton of like things in there, and you want to know how many of each of them there are. So if we go back to our thing, we can do uniq-c, and that'll count. So I had apples twice, I had cheese, chips, fish, fruit. Sometimes you want to know, okay, let's put that in numeric order, so you can pipe that into sort again, and now we get the list. Now we get the list in sorted numerically, and we can also reverse sort. So I'd rather see the thing I need the most of. I need 4 sodas. So if I do -r, that will reverse sort it, and now I get soda at the top. So those are some things you can do with some of these smaller utilities. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to know if two files are the same. and there's a command called diff that tells you if files are different. So I have 3 files. I have 3 files. I have list of items 2, and list of items 3. So I could use diff, and then I could put list of items, and then I could put the other file I want to know, and this will show me the differences in the 2 files. So this less than means the item is in the file on the left. This greater than means it's in the file on the right. That shows the differences. If we have two files that are the same, there's no output. So if there's no output, that means the files are the same. So that's what we can use the diff command for. Let me see if there's anything else interesting about diff. Yeah, I don't really see anything else interesting about it. Ignore case. So if you're trying to compare 2 files and it's not doing what you want, you can read the man page and see if there's anything else in there. I don't really do a lot with diff other than just seeing if they're identical or not. If they're not identical, then I know they're not the same, and I can do something else. Another command we can use is the word count command. It's useful to count things for you. So in module 2, I think it was, we did ls-l. I had some hints to help you do some things, and I told you flat out, these are some things you haven't seen before, but we're going to learn about them later. So if I do ls-l, that tells me all the stuff in here, right? So if I wanted to know how many files there are in here, a file starts with a dash. Yeah, so I didn't want to do that yet. But anyway, I'll do it now anyway. So we're going to talk about 2 things. We're talking about grep too. Grep will look at the output line by line, and it will look for patterns, regular expressions. So I just said files start with a dash, right? So I want to look for lines that start with a dash. The character means starts with. So I'll do that, and this will show me all the lines that start with a dash, and that will show me all the files. So if I wanted to know how many files I have, I could count that, or since I'm super elite Linux guru, I can run the word count command, and that will tell me the number of lines and some other stuff. So if I run the word count command without any arguments, it tells me the number of lines, the number of words, and the number of characters. But if I just really want to know the number of lines, because I want to know how many files there are, I can do -L, and that says, okay, there are 12 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that was looking for files. I could also look for directories. If we look back up here, directories start with a D. So if I want to know how many directories they are, I could do -D because it starts with D. So that's handy. Yeah, so that's grep and word count. Those are 2 commands I use quite a lot.